Hey guys, this is how to do good in Big Ballers. Basically make every one of your shots. Even though I don't. But it'll just help you. I'm not the best, but I'm also not the worst. I'm an ace in Big Ballers. And these are my settings. I don't recommend using my settings. It's just, I think it just works good for me. So this is how to choose your arm power first. So first up, you want to stand here and shoot 3 of these shots. You don't even have to jump. You're gonna miss most of them, but if you overshoot it too much, I wouldn't recommend that arm power that you're using. And next up, I would recommend using 3s. Do 5 3s and 5 half-court shots. And I'll show you, like, if your ball goes way over, that means you have too high of an arm power. But if you can barely even reach the net and it keeps going under like that, means you need to make it higher. And if you're shooting half courts, you want to flick your wrist a little bit harder than usual. And if you have a high arm power, it should go way over. But if you have a low arm power, it should go like that. So if you want the perfect arm power, you gotta see when you flick your wrist and extend your arm fully and it goes in. And well, that's a pretty good arm power. If you're getting better, you should get a higher arm power if you're like shooting from here. Because my arm power is not that good for shooting over here. So I'd recommend around the 130s if you're trying to copy my arm power without having to do all this. So I'll get you guys onto the next part of this video. So the next part of this video is how to shoot the ball properly, like how to actually make it in. Because if you just have your arm power and you don't know how to aim, it's just gonna go like that, or like that, or like that. You gotta aim good. So you gotta have your left hand next to the ball, or whatever hand you're dominant with, or your non-dominant hand next to the ball. You wanna jump, extend your arm. Hold up, I'm gonna go to slow motion. Jump, extend your arm, and flick your wrist. And the best way to do it is when your arm is extended at the exact same time as it's fully extended, flick your wrist. And if you chose your arm power right, it should just go straight in. So yeah, and you might have to flick your wrist a little bit harder for farther shots. I can show you how to do farther ones right now, like this. Skip to like 30 seconds if you don't need to watch this. But if you want it to go in, you have to usually jump and put it like behind your neck if you want. And it should go a little farther. Also, and yeah, it should go a little farther than usual if you put it behind your neck and do a full extension and flick your wrist. And then it should just go right in. So next up is how to, what was I gonna say? Is how to dunk the ball. So this is for very new people, so skip like a minute ahead if you don't wanna watch this. But what you're gonna wanna do, you wanna put your arms up when you're getting ready. Then when you let go of the A, you wanna swing your arms up and swing them up like high. And I'd say about the time you wanna let go is about here. So like this. and then you could just put the ball right in. You could even grab the rim if you want and just toss it in. And if you really want to like get good at dunking, you could mix it up a little bit and start going behind the bat, where you just put your ball behind your back end. Yeah. So next up, I will be showing you how to properly place your hands. So you want to have this one right in front of your VR if you're on Quest 2, and a little bit farther out if you're on Quest 3, so it can almost touch it. And what you want to do, you could either put it on your forehead or like right here on your head, like where, like above where your VR goes, and do the flick and wrist and arm extension. Oh, I'm breaking. Or you could put it at your nose and shoot, or maybe even your chin. I do not recommend chin or nose, but it's still pretty good for a lot of people, but not for me. And next up is slap shots. If you want to do slap shots, a lot of people need to learn this. You gotta jump, let the ball go, and shoot it. Well, from what I know. I'm not very good at these at all, but I think you're supposed to jump, let go in midair, and smack it like that. Like, oh my gosh, like that. Sort of like that. I do not make any of these, so I wouldn't recommend taking my advice for that, but still some advice from what I know. Next up, dribbling. If you want to dribble, you gotta go side to side, and the best way to explain it is, you know the trend where you go, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Just do that, but without the wait. Just go. You don't have to move your head sideways, and you don't have to look down, but you can just smack the ball lightly, and it'll go there with 100% dribble control. So it's pretty useful. And if you want to mix it up and do like overhead dribbles, or behind the back dribbles, or between the legs dribbles, or even go like, do like, oh. So, quick way of explaining this is grabbing the ball, doing a spin, and dribbling again. It's a pretty good, useful thing for dribbling. Doesn't always work, but still pretty good. And lastly is how to shoot fades. So I'm gonna start off shooting fades that way. So if you're shooting fades, you wanna move side to side. I'm not very good at them at all, but you gotta aim. So I'm jumping this way, you gotta aim a little over right there, and it'll just go straight in. Here's an example. Sometimes goes in, sometimes doesn't. And if you want to shoot them backwards, you gotta shoot it a little harder than usual when you're shooting here. Because if you're shooting here, I just flick my wrist and throw it. If I'm shooting back, I have to shoot it like a half-court shot. So you have to move backwards in midair and shoot the ball. It's very hard when you're starting, but it gets a lot better. And lastly, this part is the best. What you want to do is treat everybody with kindness and respect, and then you should make some friends and have some good experiences and play with some good people. And yeah, that's the end of my video, guys. Thank you for watching. This shouldn't take that long to edit, so should be out by January 15th to 14th, which 14th is today. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you. See ya.